run the ball, stop the run, rush the quarterback, and protect yours. I'm going to say it again. Run the ball, stop the run, rush the quarterback, and protect yours. Let's get it, Slim. Yeah. Welcome to episode 4 of Skins in the Berg podcast. That's right, episode 4 of the Skins in the Berg podcast, the best source for Commanders commentary in the Carolinas and beyond. I'm your grateful host, LG, and we got a banger for you today. Slim, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm big time excited because I've been waiting on this. Boy, I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting since about, I don't know, about the first week in November. Yeah, about the first week in November is how long I've been waiting on this moment right here. Because in the first week in November, that's about when I knew our season was over. I knew our season was over by the first week in November. So I've been waiting, because I've been waiting for everybody else's season to be over too. That's what I've been waiting on. Shoot, I've been sitting and watching and being disgusted, just waiting for everybody else's season to end like my season ended back in November. I've been watching people like Ben Johnson stick his old 12-year-old chest out, giving corny post-game after corny post-game. I've been watching something that they told me was dead for the last 10 years, and that's defense. These jokers told me defense was dead, and I believed them. Yeah, I believed them. They said defense was dead, and I believed them. But hey, it was easy for me to believe them because one reason why I thought defense was dead too, because our defense been dead for the last 10 years. Our defense been dead the whole time. We ain't had a good defense since Greg Williams. That was the last time we had a good defense. Greg Williams. You know how long that's been? Man, that's been 10 plus. All right. Defense been terrible. Matter of fact, this ain't even how I was gonna start the show, but I just want to point out from now on, my nickname for our defense, until we prove otherwise, my nickname for our defense is the Usher Board. That's the nickname for our defense, the Usher Board. Yeah, you know ushers, service going on. You got to use the bathroom. They don't want you to go this way. They want you to go this way. All right, but if you want to go this way and you go this way, they ain't really gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? They might try to stop you, but they ain't really gonna stop you. All right, they really not gonna stop you. The Usher Board defense. That's my nickname for our defense. Until we prove otherwise, we got the Usher Board defense. But I digress. Yeah, I've been waiting. Boy. I've been waiting. Boy. Game after game after game after game. I sat there and listened to everybody want to crown Drake May. They want to crown him as the quarterback from the 2024 draft class. The quarterback from the 2024 draft class. Couldn't believe it. Like everybody just forgot about actual 2024. Everybody forgot that we had the greatest rookie in the history of rookies. Everybody forgot. I'm sitting there watching this. I'm watching Drake May carve up junior high school defense after junior high school defense, week after week after week, wondering, is he ever going to play a good defense? And then what happens when he does? What happens when he play a good defense? Because they did crown this dude the MVP, best quarterback from 2024, based on some play against bum defense after bum defense. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he can do it, but I don't know. Not against these defenses we seeing him against. It's like he played against the Redskins defense like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, like just playing against the Redskins defense over and over and over and over and over again, and then they crown him the MVP. Come on, Slim. Come on. You got to watch the games. You got to watch the games. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Yeah. But now we're here. Now we're here because really what I've been waiting on. I mean, not that I'm a hater that I want everybody else's season to end like that. I love football too, but I've been waiting on it to finally to be 0-0 again. Everybody 0-0. Everybody doing I'm sorry, putting that toe on the starting line, waiting for that gun to go off. That's everybody. Because we've been dead. I mean, season been over since November. So I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on it. So we in off-season mode right now. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about the recent changes on the coaching staff. We're gonna talk about what we need to do to get an influx of talent into this building, man. I mean, we lacking talent right now. We got to get a huge influx of talent. All right, whether that's in the free agency or draft. But we're gonna break it down. Matter of fact, starting next episode, all right, we're gonna go in depth, position by position, and break down what we need to do in those positions in free agency. That's what we're gonna do in the next few episodes. Start with the next episode. We're gonna take each episode is gonna be a different position. All right. And as we approach April, we're gonna get more in depth with the draft as well. All right. But before we get into that mode, first, before we put the ribbon on it, I do want to congratulate the Seattle Seahawks on winning the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, I was pleased. I was pleased with how they did it. They did it in a way that was aesthetically pleasing to me. All right. I know chicks dig the long ball. I know everybody like those, high scoring, back and forth, high flying offenses and all that. But me being the Skins fan that I am and the era I grew up in, I have an affinity for that smash mouth football. All right. With a recipe, it's still very, 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 very simple. Win the line of scrimmage. Run the football, stop the run, rush the quarterback, and protect yours. Run the football, stop the run, rush the quarterback, protect yours. If you can do all those things at the highest of levels, you probably going to be hoisting that Lombardi. All right. And that's been the case since Lombardi was coaching himself. All right. Since Lombardi was coach, it's been about running the football, stopping the run, rushing the quarterback, protecting yours. If you could do that at a high level, you probably going to be hoisting that Lombardi. All right. So congratulations to the Seahawks. All right, now for the Commander's spin on it, as far as the Super Bowl is concerned, because this is the Skins and the Berg podcast, the best source for Commander's commentary in the Carolinas and beyond. So, as a Commander spin on what happened in the Super Bowl, I can tell you what I was thinking as a Commanders fan. All right, what I was thinking while that game was going on, okay, I was thinking, you know what? All you attention span lacking, Johnny come lately loving, forgot about what you saw last month type dudes. The one of the crown Drake May as the best quarterback, better than Jaden Daniels. All you Johnny come lately loving dudes, all you amnesia having stat watchers, y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to sit down right now. Have a seat. All right. Matter of fact, get comfortable. Get comfortable. Have you a nice long seat. Have you one of them massage chair in the mall while your wife's spending the money seats. Because you're going to be here a while. You're going to be here a while. This dude was not ready. All right, he wasn't ready for no good defense at all. He was bad. He was bad, bad. And I ain't just talking about the Super Bowl. Just the entire playoffs. From the moment he stepped on the field against a good defense, Drake was bad. He was bad. Talking about better than Jaden Daniels. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Better than Jaden Daniels? Did you watch him run for his life when there wasn't even pressure there? Did you see that? Did you watch him throwing those balls at them guys' feet when there was just a little bit of pressure? Yeah, they was after him. They was after him. They was getting after it. But did you see how he responded? Game after game after game. I know they made it to the Super Bowl, but it wasn't because of him. It wasn't because of no Drake May. That was the luckiest Super Bowl run I ever seen. And they do have a great defense. All right. But snow games, their game plan, you talking about Drake May versus Jaden Daniels. His own team answered that question for you. Their game plan was to take it out his hands. Make sure he don't lose it for him. That was their game plan. Punt the ball, play good defense, hope that the other team make a mistake. And it was working for him in the first few games of the playoffs. It was working for him. Once weather wasn't a factor, once they didn't have to play a third string quarterback, exposed. Exposed. Looked like he never seen a blitz before. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is Jaden Daniels versus the blitz in 2024. Against top 10 defenses. 107.5 passer rating against top 10 defenses. And that's a stat that's top 10 defenses when under pressure. 124.4 passer rating on downfield throws when under pressure. He performed best when under pressure in the biggest of moments. Jaden Daniels was not the reason why we lost 50-something to whatever to the Eagles. Otherwise, we'd be in a Super Bowl. Jaden Daniels came ready to play. We leaned on Jaden Daniels all season long, and he carried us all season long. Drake May was not the reason why they got to the Super Bowl in those playoffs. He played terrible. Terrible. Charles Barkley, terrible. Drake May was awful. Drake was bad. He was very bad. He stank. So we can kill all that 2024 draft talk. Kill all that. It's still number 1, Jaden Daniels. Number 2, Bo Nix. Number 3, Caleb Williams. Then maybe Drake May. Then maybe Drake May. That's what it is. I'm sorry. That dude did not show up. That dude did not show up. Okay, let's get into these coordinators. Let's get into these coordinators. All right, we actually introduced our new offensive and defensive coordinator today. Had press conferences for him. Also announced some more coaching hires. And I'm excited about these hires. I'm gonna go ahead and get right to it. All right, Durante, brother from Capitol Heights. I mean, come on. How am I gonna say anything against a brother from Capitol Heights? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's definitely a couple different times my old stomping grounds, Marlboro Pike. I mean, I still have a lot of dreams on Marlboro Pike. I mean, it don't get no better than Oriental House, Popeyes across the street, Shoppers Food Warehouse. Might have sticky floors, but I mean, that's home team right there. The curry out. I know you had some. I know Durante had some fried wings with mumbo sauce. Fried rice on the side, right there on Marlboro Pike. I know he did. Capitol Heights. You can't go wrong with that. But more importantly, though, he comes from an array of systems that really tend to have an aggressive blitzing, dictating to the offense type of defenses. That's his background. Zimmer. You see what Brian Flores was doing with him over there. You know, really forcing the issue. The scuttlebutt really. Actually, I heard Greg Williams himself say he did a little consulting for that side over there in Minnesota, and I see that all over it. He was a dictating type defensive coordinator, and that's what it sounded like. Durante going to be a dictating type defensive coordinator. So I'm excited. All right, I want to see guys going downhill and see. One of the things about our defense, and particularly our pass rush, is we settle into, well, we may not have this big time dynamic pass rusher right now, so we're not gonna get to the quarterback. We need another pass rusher, or we're not gonna get to the quarterback. That ain't that when Greg Williams was there, we didn't have a dynamic pass rusher. But guess what? We got to the quarterback. He was going to scheme our way to the quarterback. He was going to send some dudes after the quarterback and put the pressure on him and dictate to the quarterback what was going on. That's what Greg Williams was going to do. And it sounded like that's what this guy going to do from Capitol Heights. So I'm excited. Like I said, his background, an array of defenses. But some of his biggest mentors, like that's how I like to see defense played. Marvin Lewis, Zimmer, Brian Flores. I want to see what he can cook up because you can't tell me our defense is terrible. All right. I'm sorry. The Usher board is terrible. The usher board is awful. All right. But I'm talking about from a resort standpoint, they awful. You cannot tell me that those guys are as bad as the performance that they show that they display on the field. Because the individual parts, the individual pieces, they're not bad pieces. So they must not be getting good coaching or good coordinating. You gonna tell me that the combination of Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu, um, two guys who both were second team All Pro in 2024. You gonna tell me that a defense that features two All Pros, plus Mikey Sanders making plays, plus Deron Payne in the middle, all right, Kinlaw, DC's own Kinlaw in the middle, Quan Martin, Will Harris. You gonna tell me those individuals are as bad as what we saw displayed on that football field? Trey Amos, promising young rookie cornerback. You gonna tell me that what we saw on that field is really the caliber of play that represents those guys' talent? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they was being led astray. They was being led astray. You can't tell me they was that bad. I'm not saying they should have been Seattle's defense. I'm not even saying they should have been top 10. But the usher board, ain't no way them dudes should have been the usher board. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. They not that sorry. Not Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, Deron Payne, Mike Sanders, Will Harris, Trey Amos, Quan Martin. Come on, man. They not that sorry. All right. We need a better coordinating, and I think we about to get it. On that offensive side of the ball, woo, music to my ears when I heard that press conference. And not just the press conference, but when I heard David Blau's interview after his press conference, he bringing that offense. I'm just excited. That system, and I'm not talking about, all right, West Coast versus this, but I'm talking about just, once again, it's almost aesthetics, but from a result standpoint, he bringing an offense that's proven, that's done it, that makes really the most sense for attacking downfield. He mentioned outside zone, running that outside zone, presenting that as a way to get into the play action game. When the last time we had a play action game? Jaden Daniels is going to kill in the play action game. Keepers, bootlegs, and then what that's going to do for Bill in the actual run game. That outside zone, perfect for Bill. Bend that thing outside, plant that foot in the ground, make one cut. All right, then imagine that hard break to the right on the outside zone. Camera following Bill, but up. Jaden got the ball going a whole other way. He can either run for these 15 yards and go out of bounds, or he can give a nice soft little touch pass for 7 yards that turn into 20 because Ben Sinnott right there all by himself. That's what we finna see. That's what we about to see. That Shanahan style West Coast. Jaden under center. Under center. Backs have an opportunity to really get a good head of steam going towards that line of scrimmage. Not sitting there reacting on duo because we in the shotgun 100% of the time. Nah, David Blau about to bring that Ben Johnson slash Cliff Kingsbury. So we can take the positive parts of the Kingsbury offense. I like the pace. I like that. All right, not giving the defense an opportunity to get their sub on. Not only that, get their tongues wagging a little bit. I like playing with pace. All right, but marrying that run game with the pass, we did not. All right. You everything shouldn't be so hard matriculating downfield. We need more big plays. Terry McLaurin, good receiver. Some might say great receiver. He's not getting enough separation. So we need to scheme him up for more separation. Even guys like Jay Gruden had guys running wide open. He didn't have. I mean, I'm not talking about the Pierre and the Jackson days. I'm not talking about them days. Them dudes was thorough. But after they was gone, we didn't receivers wasn't like that. Like that, he was scheming them open. Sometimes you got some of your stuff got to come schemed open. Terry shouldn't have to make contested catch after contested catch. Some of your stuff got to come wide open. If you scheming right, you got to come wide open, and that's what David Blau, I believe, is going to bring. And then in the interview after the press conference, he really confirmed as much. He not only said Jaden Daniels will be under center more, but he even described why that's important. What's the advantages of being under center? All right, it's a reason why after we let Kingsbury go, he didn't get an offensive coordinator job. It was a record number of offensive coordinator openings during this coaching turnaround season. Record number of offensive coordinator positions open. Cliff Kingsbury didn't get one of them. Didn't get one of them. It's a reason. It ain't like he was, okay, he the one brilliant cat that's doing something that everybody else ain't doing, and so now he's unstoppable. Nah, now, did he do a good job? He did a good job. I'm not sitting here trying to throw dirt on Kingsbury's grave. I'm not. He did a good job. Jaden Daniels performed, had the greatest rookie season of all time. That was with Cliff Kingsbury's system that happened. That did happen. Let me not have total complete revisionist history. That happened. However, as now it's time for him to progress into the NFL, progress into professional style offense, everything shouldn't be so hard. Everything shouldn't be a tight window. It should be some guys wide open. And it's the best way to get guys wide open. All right. Drifts right down the middle of the field. You remember the Pierre Garçon play from 2012? Ran it time after time after time after time. Why? Because it's wide open. It's wide open. If the defense takes that one step towards line of scrimmage and it's a play action, and you got that linebacker take one step towards the line of scrimmage, he done for. He already lost. He already lost. That's why you see so many people wide open in these McVay offenses. They wide open. Every catch doesn't have to be a spectacular contested catch. Let's scheme some stuff. Let's scheme some stuff open, and that's what it looked like Blau's going to do. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about it. I'm about as excited as you can be at the press conference. I mean, I know I might sound gullible. I might sound naive. I might sound like a total complete homer, but I think it's going to be a return to the 12-win season. Yeah, everybody's 0-0 right now. That's why I've been waiting on today. That's why I've been waiting. So I can say 12-4 or whatever the math shakes out to be. Yeah, man, I'm excited about the coaching staff. We also hired a guy, Eric Henderson, as a D-line coach. Apparently, I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know who he was before we hired him, but apparently he was Aaron Donald's D-line coach when he was with the Rams. Sound good to me. Sound real good to me. Aaron Donald had nothing but good things to say about him. Talked about his fundamentals. He really keys on fundamentals and technique. So, hey, you got Aaron Donald coach who keys in on fundamentals and technique. I'm with that. One thing though, I think it is going to be kind of awkward for man, I forgot my guy's name. Man, I forgot his name, but the previous D-line coach, they didn't fire him. Now he's the assistant D-line coach. So he was running the D-line room. Now he's the assistant D-line coach. I've never seen that work in any walks of life where a guy gets demoted and now he didn't just get demoted and now he's one of the guys, right? Because that's one dynamic. No, he gets demoted, but he's the assistant D-line coach. So he still, on some level, got to tell these same guys what to do who just witnessed him get his neck chopped off. That's always a curious dynamic. I never seen that play out and actually work. But hopefully it works out for everybody involved on that end. But yeah, they made a couple of other little minor coaching changes. They did for some reason they took away the running game coordinator title from Anthony Lynn. He was the running backs coach and running game coordinator under Cliff Kingsbury. Now he's been stripped of that, and I don't see where they actually replaced that title and put that on somebody else. But then they also hired DJ Williams, Doug Williams' son, to be quarterbacks coach. I know nothing about him other than that he's Doug Williams' son. Hopefully it works out. I like Doug. I hope things work out with his son, especially if he coaching for the Commanders. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, that's the coaching staff. They were introduced today. Announcement was made today. Now, as Blau said, they're gonna get together, do their collaboration, see what they want the total defensive system to be, see what they want the total offensive system to be, so they can go ahead and hit the ground running with selecting these players that they're gonna target in free agency. All right. And speaking of free agency, that's what we're gonna get into on next segment. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Skins in the Berg podcast. I'm your grateful host, LG. And we're gonna get into this 2026 offseason. All right, and what we need to do to shape our roster for the final 2026 roster cut. What do we need to do? I can tell you one thing we need. We need some talent, big time. We need talent everywhere. All right, so my overall theme for the offseason has got to be we need to find some blue chippers. We need to find some A grade level players. We need an influx of talent right now. Right now. March 1st, when the season officially begins, the offseason officially begins on March 1st, we need to be as aggressive as Snyder used to be. And I don't mean just throwing around dollars at whatever name you got, but I'm talking about being aggressive and getting better through free agency. We need to be aggressive and getting better through free agency. All right, we need to spend some money. All right, and again, I'm not talking about doing the Dan Snyder thing where, he knows nothing about football, and from his yacht, he's just throwing, contract after contract after contract after famous dude after famous dude after famous dude. I don't care nothing about how famous the dude is, but Adam Peters and Dan Quinn identified that they need some talent, and they identify somebody with some talent that's available. We need to be aggressive about going to get them. Point blank, period. That's how the Patriots ended up in that Super Bowl. Not because of Drake May, because of that defense. And that defense was mainly put together by free agency. And I'm talking about free agency just last year, one offseason. So it can be done. And we got all the cap space. We got the third most cap space. So we need to be aggressive in that free agent market. Big time. I'm not going to get into the specifics of players I want to target. I do got some guys in mind that I'd like to see them pursue. But I'm not going to get into the names, but I am saying we need to be aggressive. And we need to be aggressive in really off. The only place we don't need to be aggressive at is quarterback. Although I do think we need to do whatever we need to do to sign Marcus Mariota. But we don't need to be super big time aggressive at quarterback or left tackle. What we need to do is retain Laramie Tunsil. That's a must. Gotta have him. Gotta have Laramie Tunsil. Number one, tackles don't grow on trees. Pro Bowl tackles don't grow on trees, and he definitely played at a Pro Bowl level. They don't grow on trees. We got to get that done. But also, we gave away assets for him. We made trades for him. So we got to retain this guy. Pay him whatever. Pay him whatever. That left tackle market, yes, it's almost like a quarterback. Hey, you need him. Gotta have him. Pay that dude. Get that squared away, and get that squared away early. Early. Don't let that thing linger. Don't let it linger into training camp and all that. Get that done early. This ain't the Terry McLaurin contract where he's an aging receiver. No, he's a left tackle that's all too important. You see how many contracts Trent Williams signed after that age. He about to make $50 million next year, period, Trent Williams. And he got about 5 more years over Laramie Tunsil. So you got to get that done. Got to. That's a must. Got to get Larry Tunsil done. But after that, we need to be aggressive in all areas. Our free agency strategy should not be just to overpay for everybody, but we need to be aggressive. Then when the draft, Overall, again, we're gonna get into position by position. We're gonna start naming names as these weeks get to progressing. But just for right now, what our mindset should be going into the draft is we need to draft dominant college football players. I know it sounds simple. It sounds like I'm oversimplifying it, but I'm really not. And the reason why I say I'm really not is because we haven't been doing it. I'm not even talking about the results when they get here. I'm talking about what they did in college. We have not been drafting dominant college football players. We haven't been doing it. Think about who they drafted. Think about who they drafted the last few years. It looks like the young tackle Connolly looks like he might end up being something. I'm pleased with what his progress was, but he wasn't a dominant college football player. Not even at his position. He wasn't dominant. Mikey Sanistrill, they called Coach Saban said that was the number one pick in the draft, his favorite pick of the draft. He was not a dominant college football player, not a dominant one. He wasn't dominant. Jamin Davis, he was not a dominant college football player. He barely played linebacker. Sanistrill barely played corner. He was a receiver for most of his college career. A receiver, converted to corner. Wasn't even on the outside, was a slot corner. He did not dominate college football. Or, I'm sorry, even at his position, he was not a dominant player. We have drafted two players who were dominant in college football probably in the last 2 years, 10 years. Two. Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner. He was dominant. Jerzon Newton, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. He was dominant. And the jury's still out on him. That might not have worked out. So it doesn't guarantee you nothing to draft a dominant college football player. It don't guarantee you nothing. But we haven't been doing it at all. We've been drafting guys that we projecting to be something. We hope gonna be something. We think, oh, he might be something. No, we need to draft a dominant college football player, somebody who we saw for ourselves be something. The Emmanuel Forbes, Christian Gonzalez decision, that draft. Gonzalez was clearly the more dominant college football player. They got enamored with those pick sixes as it relates to Emmanuel Forbes. They got enamored with those pick sixes. But if you watch them, a lot of them was lucky. Ball fell right in his hands. Oma run down the sidelines with nobody to stop me. I wasn't Deoning. No. We got enamored with the pick six and didn't draft the dominant college football player at his position. Now what is he doing? He's dominating in the NFL. Dominating. It's time to draft some dominant college football players. So we need to be aggressive in free agency, and we need to draft dominant college football players, not players based on what we think might happen or potential, what he might be projected to do. No, we need to draft players that did. I need to see wins under their belt. And I'm not talking about did they win the game and all that. I'm talking about at the position they're playing, did they dominate their opponent? Did they make dominating plays towards winning the football game? Because go up and down our drafts over the last 10 years, you won't find you won't get past them two players, Jaden Daniels and Jerzon Newton. Those were the only two dominant college football players we drafted. We need to change that.